Last week I was feeling pretty good. Had a little bit of extra money in the pocket for once in my life and decided, man, I really want some good conversation. It's been a while since I really sat down and just talked about life and what's really going on with another person because I'm always at work and nobody talks about life at work, right? So I'm like, I'm going to go to my usual bar. I hope some of my favorite people are there. And so I go to my spot, and as soon as I get there, I start talking to this guy at the bar I've never met before. And it was cool. It was a sweet conversation. One of my favorite bartenders was there. Great talk. But the downside to all of this, I only get one pint of beer. This beer was exactly $9.11. All right, 9/11. I think there's a message in there somewhere. You can find it. But no, $9.11 for a pint of beer. Now, the last time I had gone to this bar, it was probably maybe a month or two previously, and it was $7 for a pint, which that's kind of what it always has been since I've been going to this spot. But it's gone up $2 in the matter of a couple months. It makes it so disappointing to go out because most of the time when I do go out to the bar, I don't have a conversation and there's no bartender there that I necessarily care to talk to. So it feels like a waste. It's crazy. I can go to the corner store and get two tall cans of beer for still less than what one pint costs at the bar. Now, granted, when you go out to get a beer, the whole point is, hey, I just want to go out, get a beer, and go be around people. But being around people is all you're going to do 9 times out of 10. You're just going to be around them. Essentially, you're going out to pay extra to sit on your phone in public, essentially. And it's strange because it used to be, the point of going to the bar is this is where the community is meeting up. It's where everybody goes to talk and meet each other and, make some new friends, right? But that really isn't the case anymore for a few different reasons. One of the reasons is when you live in an area that is diverse, you go into these places and it's just big groups of Hispanics or just groups of Asians or big groups of even black people. Everybody stays right within their group. And the other part to that is the internet and having phones where everybody is planning together. So before anybody even is going to the bar, they already have their group together planned. We're all going to go and we're just going to stay within that. And that's definitely not out of the ordinary, but it's way more common now than just going to the bar and just meeting up and kind of integrating yourself in a group. Because there really isn't integration because everything, like I said, I'm not even trying to make it racial. It's just human nature. So everything is just kind of these racialized groups of people together that speak different languages. It's frustrating. And when you sit at the bar, for me, I'm 29. The average person at the bar nowadays is 50, 60. I mean, there's nobody that's going to be my age at the bar, again, unless they're with their group of friends. And I just sometimes question, am I broken? Am I doing this wrong? Because it's not I don't try. It's not for a lack of trying. I am and always have been outgoing and willing to strike up conversations with people. Like I did last week with the guy who we were talking about God and, the future and being hopeful. It was actually a really positive conversation. It was worth that 9/11 for the one time. And it was great. But generally speaking, unless you know the bartenders and are cool with them, you're not really going to talk with a lot of the people that are around you. And so I used to actually buffer this by just doing it at work. It was nice to be able to have a little drink after work and just shoot the shit with your coworkers, whatever. But unfortunately, where I work, it's against policy. And the thing is managers used to kind of overlook it, but you have these idiots who take advantage of it, and then they drink way too much and then ruin it for everybody. And they act a fool. They get a bunch of expensive liquor that they're not paying for, so they're essentially stealing. So it's like, I could understand that policy, but it's like fun is illegal now and expensive. Like you can't just have a couple drinks at work with your coworkers. And that's pretty much was my main outside of working kind of socialization. And now that's just gone, and now I'm just kind of back at a loss where I'm like, well, where do I go? What do I do? A lot of the advice people will give you, well, just, join groups with people who have the same interests, go to places where people have the same interests. And I'm like, nobody's interested in conversation. That's what I'm interested in. I'm just interested in having a drink, having some conversation about politics and the state of the world and what can we do about it? How can we get better as people? Like bounce ideas off of each other. Like I'm down so bad. I asked the corner store guy that I like, that I'm a regular at his store. I'm like, dude, man, how do you meet people anymore? Like, what do you do? How do you meet women, for one? All the good women are inside, bro. Like, they're not at the bar, and I don't want to go 30 minutes into the city, 45 minutes into the city, where a pint of beer is probably $12 instead of $9, and now I'm drunk driving. What am I going to do? Get an Uber? 70 there, 70 back? No. So he was just like, hey man, why don't you try camping? Like go solo camping, which was like a really cool piece of advice that actually I haven't heard anyone say yet. And it's fascinating. Like I've never solo camped. I've thought about it. And it really doesn't sound that bad. But it also sounds really kind of sad to me. And I'm not making excuses. Like I'm just just like, what if I do that and I'm just kind of sitting by the fire, just by myself? Like, hopefully I find somebody, I guess that's the point. So it's something I'm considering, but it's camping. You can't do it year round. But otherwise, like, there really isn't much just casually going out and meeting people and kind of blending in, especially here in Washington State, where like people are just totally terrified to talk to each other. Like it's so awkward greeting people and saying hi. People just make each other feel like they're in their space too much. I didn't think that being an adult and trying to like make friendships would actually be this difficult. Like if you didn't grow up with people, if you don't have people that you grew up with in your life, or people that you went to like high school with or college with that you made friends with, it's almost damn near impossible to make friendships outside of being forced to be together or growing up together. It's ironic. It's actually way easier to just go find a woman to have sex with than it is to just build a relationship. I don't care or not a relationship, but a friendship. Like, I don't care how unattractive or whatever you are, you can't get a woman, whatever. It's still easier, even if you pay for it. It's still easier to go get sex out of a woman than make a friend. And that's just insanely backwards. And if you don't have a group of people that you're hanging out with, there isn't going to be much really that you can get. So, I don't know, man. I think having no friends is pretty much where I'm going to be. And that's why it's like, hopefully one day I find a great woman who actually knows how to have a conversation and knows how to treat a man. Because it's not like I want a big friend circle. One homie that I can kick it with once a week, and it's a mutual thing between us and a friendship, that's fine. But even finding that is like horrendously difficult. If I find that one woman who is my companion and my best friend, that's all I need. Like, I'm not asking for much at all. And that's what's crazy. That's why I'm like, I feel like I'm broken, but is the world broken? Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure this out. And doing these videos and talking through it out loud helps make it make sense. But am I the only one? Do you have this problem? Do you have people that you grew up with that are still in your life that you're friends with? I'm not sure, but hey, if you got any advice of where to go and how to do this, make some friends, try to make a homie, like, I'll take all the advice, because I don't have a clue anymore. At this point, I don't think I know what I'm doing. So, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. And have a good rest of your day. What is it? Sayonara.